Good afternoon, good morning, good evening to everyone who is tuning in. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you are here with me, and I appreciate it. I want to give a huge thank you to everyone who has taken the time out to more recently subscribe to the YouTube channel, as well as follow me on Twitter. I want you all to know that I appreciate you greatly, and I could not do what I do without you. With that being said, I want to take a moment to address some of the more recent headlines that we are seeing in the news regarding Bitcoin. CNBC, Bitcoin falls after U.S. seizes most of the ransom. NBC News, Bitcoin slides 7% after U.S. seizes most of the pipeline ransom. Money Control, explain how U.S. investigators recovered the Bitcoin ransom paid by Colonial Pipeline. Bloomberg, Bitcoin tumbles as analysts point to looming, probably technical bearish scenario. Forbes, crypto markets crash again after DOJ seizes 2.3 million Bitcoin. CNBC, what's really behind the Bitcoin decline? Why it could take Bitcoin out. Blah, 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 blah. More FUD, more FUD, more FUD. If you have been following my channel for any elongated period of time, you know that we like to use the media as indicators as to when to sell, when to buy. And normally whenever I see very negative news headlines like this, I look at it as a very strong signal to buy. Now, keep in mind, this is not financial advice. I just want to, point out some examples here as to why this could be very beneficial in the long run. Even though we may be facing a current micro bearish scenario, I still think overall I'm very, very bullish on Bitcoin. As you all know, the biggest event to happen in the summer regarding all things Bitcoin and blockchain has just wrapped up the annual conference, the annual Bitcoin conference. Bitcoin 2021 this year was in Miami from June 4th to 5th, and it was a absolute star-studded event. We had everybody from the Winklevi twins who were in the house. Everybody's favorite crypto Twitter leader, Jack Dorsey, was in the building. Awesome entertainment was provided by fire dancers, probably someone local in Miami. Look at that. She's got the Victoria's Secret halo wings going on in complete fire. I like it. And, of course, everyone's crypto troll. I still have no idea how this guy is even still on Crypto Island. I thought we agreed to vote this dude off the island. But Elon Musk decided to join via Twitter and lob a huge turd in the punch bowl, which sent the price of Bitcoin down a little bit while the event was taking place. However, there's somebody in particular that I want to show you guys here. We'll call this individual the special guest of honor. Although he was not in Miami for the actual conference, he did tune in via telecast. This man is Nayib Bukele, the president of El Salvador. And in order to understand why this individual is so important, we'll have to kind of take a couple steps back. If you've been paying attention to my channel, if you've been following me on this journey for any elongated period of time, you know I have this saying that I like to say. In order to know where you're going, you have to know where you've been. In order to know what events are going to happen next, you would have to understand what events have already taken place. And to that, I want to time travel, if you will. Let's go back. The year is 2018, and Brad Garlinghouse is on stage at an event with one of the legal team members from the IMF. And a question was posed, and I want you to pay attention to this question.
Take one? Go for it. The first one's for you. IMF. Do you see IMF holding crypto assets in the future? I did not put that up there.
Remember, I'm from the legal department. I'm supposed to be very conservative about these things. I don't want to go into great details about
Maybe I should take what the IMF is going to do. I think we stunned Ross into silence with that one.
For that to happen, under the current legal framework, some country would have to use a crypto asset as its currency. Great details about
Maybe I should take what the IMF is going to do. I think we stunned Ross into silence with that one.
For that to happen, under the current legal framework, some country would have to use a crypto asset as its currency. Under the current legal framework, some country would have to use a crypto asset as its currency. Under the current legal framework, some country would have to use a crypto asset as its currency.
Fast forward, the year is again 2021, and Nayib Bukele is about to drop a bombshell on the entire crypto space. Have a listen.
Idea that we create our own future, that we as humanity can do almost anything that we imagine. Our ingenuity, what separates us from other species. In El Salvador, we are trying to rescue this idea and start the design of a country for the future. using the best ingredients that makes us who we are, while using sensibility to find the best examples of ideas from history and around the world. I believe Bitcoin could be one of these ideas. That is why next week, I will send to Congress a bill that will make Bitcoin a legal tender in El Salvador. In the short term,
let me play that back for you.
That is why next week, I will send to Congress a bill that will make Bitcoin a legal tender in El Salvador.
Okay, under the current legal framework, some country would have to use a crypto asset as its currency.
Why next week, I will send to Congress a bill that will make Bitcoin a legal tender in El Salvador. In the short term,
next week, I'm going to send a bill to Congress in El Salvador that would make Bitcoin legal tender in El Salvador. If you have been paying attention to what this means for the crypto space, it is absolutely huge. I try to only get on when I have pertinent information, something that is heavy, something with the gravity that I think could benefit a lot of people who are searching for information and who want to stay abreast to everything that is happening in crypto. And I think this is one of the most pivotal videos I may have ever put together on this channel, because what this video represents is essentially the next the next era of crypto into mainstream adoption. If El Salvador, and granted I understand that right now it's just an idea at this point being Tuesday, if it has even been drafted yet, the bill I mean, should this actually go through, this would mean that the IMF, according to their current framework, would be able to hold crypto assets. Now, I think it's safe to say with Brad Carlinghouse being there, that means that XRP is probably going to be among one of those assets. You can pretty much bet your bottom dollar that Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to be one of those crypto assets. In all honesty, that's why when I see things like this, the price of Bitcoin taking a little bit of a tumble, I don't really panic, because I really believe that everything that we're seeing here could potentially be a shakeout to kind of weaken the loose hands from holding on to this significant asset. And if this does in fact go through, we could potentially see an ETF, and I don't mean just like an ETF in this country, that country. I mean abroad. I mean across the board, by and large, in all countries. And the thing that we know about ETFs is whenever there's an ETF that is granted to a new asset, the underlying asset sees significant price appreciation. If the IMF were to hold crypto assets, I'm willing to bet that we may not be too far away from FDIC insured accounts that are fully crypto. I think what you're witnessing here is the people who are paying attention having a very keen eye and a very strong bead as to what is coming down the pipeline. And we should not be panicking about what the current price of Bitcoin is doing here in the next 5 minutes. With all that money flowing in and out and assets jumping from blockchain to blockchain, they're probably also going to hold an oracle that can do a great job of keeping track of all that data. Inner Chainlink. I am absolutely excited about the potential for El Salvador to start using Bitcoin as legal tender. I also think that this means the representation of a Bitcoin ETF. And if it is in fact legal tender, the dollar as it stands right now has an ETF. It actually has a few ETFs. The British pound has an ETF. Gold has an ETF. Bitcoin is probably closer to getting an ETF than we all care to acknowledge. That's why I'm calling this video Bitcoin with a side of XRP. Had Brad Garlinghouse never been sitting on that stage all those years ago talking to one of the legal members of the IMF and asking him that, and maybe that being one of the earliest issuance of somewhat regulatory clarity, that clarity that we have regarding crypto assets, we might not be sitting here having this conversation now. I certainly wish Nayib Bukele all of the luck getting this passed through his Congress and eventually having this become law. I'm sure there's people out there who are smarter than myself who can look at this and make the argument and say that, hey, he's got the numbers to get this done. We're going to be paying attention. But the fact that El Salvador wants to make Bitcoin legal tender and it rests on the shoulders of this man right here, I got to be honest, I really like what I see. I'm not really worried about Bitcoin and, you know, currently what it's doing. I know there's a little bit of price action here. It's not exactly doing the best. But that's all I have for you right now. Guys, if you like this video, do me a huge favor. Please be sure to slap that like button, comment, rate, and subscribe. I want to hear from you all. Okay? I want to say thank you to the 675 subscribers, I believe it is at this point. 674 subscribers, excuse me. Thank you to all 674 of you all. I appreciate each and every one of you beautiful ladies and gentlemen. I want to say thank you. I do this for you all. And had it not been for any one of you guys viewing my videos, this would not be possible. So again, thank you for that. Also, be sure to follow me here on Twitter. Thank you to the 300 followers that decided that they want to interact with me on Twitter. I appreciate you guys. I love having dialogue, sharing ideas, and having conversation with you all. So if you would like to continue your engagement into the Crypto Glenn ecosystem, if you will, you can always follow me here on Twitter as well. And if you are an XRP holder, or if you have some XRP, or if you're thinking about buying some XRP, consider donating some to our friend Bob. Bob Mackey is an individual. He's a community member here of the Crypto Glenn channel. He lost all of his XRP due to losing his wallet and his backup keys. And I understand he's very broken up about it. So guys, if you could, just a few, you know, I'm not asking you to donate like 10,000 or anything like that, but if you've got a few that you wouldn't mind donating to another XRP holder, I'm sure he would greatly appreciate it. I would greatly appreciate it, as we're trying to be somewhat of the change in the crypto space that we want to see. And I'm sure Bob would be very, very grateful for that. Again, guys, I want to say thank you to tuning into this video. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I will see you in the next one. Peace. Oh, you know what? Before we go, let's take a quick look here at some TA. I know you guys like looking at the TA. All right, so here we have Bitcoin on the 4 hour. You see we entered this descending channel a couple days ago, probably at the beginning of June, and you know, we're actually running good support here along this line. While we did break out, we haven't had any issuance where we've closed significantly below the line. I mean, we did kind of close here on one of the last 4 hour candles, but since then have kind of broke back up into this channel, which is obviously a good thing. Ideally, you're probably going to see us run to somewhere in this region here before testing the downside again. Keep in mind, you don't really want to break through this, nor do you want to hit this too many times, because if you do, you're probably going to fall all the way down beyond 30,000, probably to the upper 20s. We'll keep an eye on that for you. You can, again, follow me on Twitter. I'm always going to be able to keep you guys up to date on that. As it stands right now, if you entered in at this support area, it would have definitely made for a decent long. Are we going to build this candle back up here? 100% not really sure. We got to wait to see what we're going to do in the next hour and 15 minutes. But I'll do another video on this current setup, what we have going on now, and I'll post it on Twitter, or I'll drop another video here for it on YouTube. I did just want to talk about this to let you guys know, hey, if you are looking at this, pay attention to the pattern that we are forming here, as well as the amount of volume that we're getting in order to get a firm indication of, you know, where we're at right now. If you're thinking about taking a trade right here, I may not, because again, it's not financial advice, it's just my opinion. There's too much indecision right here. You see this is starting to form a little bit of a thicker spinning top. We had a spinning top here, a spinning top here. These candles represent indecision. Excuse me. And what that represents is, you know, we're not really sure which way the market wants to take it. Do we want to go up? Do we want to go down? So let's wait for this current 4 hour candle to close an hour and 14 minutes before we decide what we're going to start, you know, looking to do here. If in fact you did take this long at this support line here, maybe taking a little bit of profit off the table isn't a bad idea. I mean, you've already given some back. I don't really think that's about 1%, but it's a fair amount. But yeah, definitely wait for this current 4 hour candle to close before we can see what additional trade setups might be forming. And if I see anything before this current 4 hour candle closes, or just after, I'll be sure to keep you guys up to date. So again, just wanted to go over some quick TA. We'll do a more detailed video here in a little bit. Again, guys, folks, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.